9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, we're back in the shop. It's your favorite bad uncle or whatever, grumpy old grandpa, whatever you want to call me. We pulled the motor, sitting right here. Now this motor, this is my motor off the 2550. This is part 2. And it had an exhaust leak, so I put a new, this is a spare. I put a new exhaust manifold gasket on. And let me tell you something. If you're going to do one of these, just buy the new studs. But there's a trick to buying the studs, all right? A lot of places, eBay, Amazon, will sell you 6 studs, and it takes 8 studs, all right? Studs and nuts, okay? Now, even though this is going on my brother's, I'm loaning it to my brother, and he's gonna run it for a month or so. I could have used the old studs, but when I was torquing the last one on, it broke, so I needed just one. See, here's the one that it broke. All right, so I just went, I said, hey, my brother needed a new set for when he was having his motor rebuilt. I said, do me a favor, order 2 sets. I'll put a set on here. We'll put the new nuts on here, start fresh. He put the turbo on last Sunday, and him and I played around for about an hour and a half. Everything's torqued on there. When I took the exhaust manifold off, I cleaned it, wire brushed it, blew it all out. All the surfaces were cleaned, and it goes on easy. Use new studs, and some of them, when you were taking them out, came out like this, all right? So the studs unscrewed from the block, and the nut was froze on there, which that was nice and easy. Other ones, the nut came off. There. The nut came off. See, it's double threaded. And the stud was there. So to get the studs off, you just put 2 nuts on it and then crank this one against that one, and it backs them right out. So also use a little penetrating oil on them. Let them soak overnight before you go to do that. When you're putting them back together, all right, you can use some anti-seize on the shiny part that goes into the block. And on the nuts, you don't put anti-seize. But we did lose a little red Loctite, just a little bit on the outer thread here. Put them on so vibration, because that's why I had an exhaust leak down here in the first place. I noticed when I took that one off, it was very loose. It vibrate. All right, so we got that done. It's back here. The whole motor's hanging, ready to go. See, it's all a chassis out here. The whole motor comes off. So we'll pull my brother's, and this one will get lowered right in there. And it's a pretty neat engine swap because it all comes together. All the way from the back, from the bell housing to radiators, all on this chassis. Comes in and lower it back on there. Here's what it looks like when it's off. Before we took everything off, my brother's back was killing him, so he went through everything. Wherever it came from that we unhooked the electrical system off the harness, which is not that many, maybe 10. He marked everything. Injector pump, wherever, everything went. So when we pull his, we'll take the engine stand and we'll drop, his will be on the cradle and be dropped there, hook up a harness on his because he's going to mark his before we take it off and go on. So here's what it looks like with the motor gone. Everything's really easy to get to. There's only 2 bolts that hold right there, that hold the hydraulic pump onto the engine, and it fits in right here, slides in. And that's the hydraulic cooler. I'll take that completely off and I'll have that cleaned at a radiator shop, and I'm gonna pressure wash this tomorrow because I don't like working on anything dirty. It's just me, I'm getting older. We'll pull the blade off, and then I'm going to get full access to a front end. And I'm going to put this, hoist this machine, make some straps, hoist it up onto my lift to where it's up, so I could show you how we rebuild the front end. And I'll show you the failure points on all these models. So if you're buying one used, this is the first area you want to look at one. And I'll show you what fails and where wears out and how we fix it. Now, when we go back over here for a moment, on eBay, my brother, you can buy original equipment Kubota parts, or you can go on eBay, and like I was saying earlier, that a lot of places wanted to sell you 6. It takes 8 nuts and 8 studs to put the exhaust manifold on. They want to sell you 6, so that you have to buy another set. This one company sells you the exhaust manifold, and it comes with the studs and the nuts. And here's the name of the company. HQMotorService.com. They're in Nevada, and they're on eBay. All right, so that helps you out. And this, like I was saying, it's like 20-something bucks for this and the studs. Anywhere else, if you go to the dealer, each nut and stud is $4.50 or more, $4.50 or more times 8. And so you can see the big savings. And it went right on, fit it. And trying to think anything else on here. The turbo, I'm going to be ordering a brand new one. This one has a little wear in the shaft, but it'd be good enough to get my brother through for a few months. These motors typically are good for 3,000 to 5,000 hours, even more. This motor's got about 1,500 hours on it, and the internals everything might be just fine. It was running fine, but I'm going to have a retired fireman also that owns a machine shop. So I say, hey, just go through it, because when I put it back on Big Booty Judy here after it's rebuilt, I just want it to be like a brand new machine. And it will be a brand new machine, basically. I'm going to do the same thing, in fact, you would do in their rebuilding service. And I'll show you all the little things I do to beef up suspension and nuts and bolts that I use. And if there's anything you really, really need to know or want to know a part number for that I'm doing, I'm going to share it with you, just like that. All right, so that's where we are this week. When you see it next week I'll have the blade off, pressure washed, up on the lift, and we'll start to disassemble and complete front end. So this week was just about exhaust manifolds and to look for leaks. And how you see for leaks, you see here the black carbon that was on the bottom. That's where it was. The gasket was gone on the first cylinder. Okay, it was just one little tear in there. When I took it off, I noticed that it blew by. So we're all good. If you're not learning something new every day, you must be dead, and you ain't dead. And thanks for watching, and I appreciate you guys so much. I'm going to tell you for the next 2-3 weeks, there's a TCI show, and it's a tree care industry. If you want to see all the different stump grinders and all the different chippers, there's specialty classes, but to go into the big convention center to see the equipment, it costs you $25. It's going to be in St. Louis, Missouri. I think it's the 17th, just look it up. I think it's November 17th, 18th, and 19th. But put it in the comments. Is there, I don't care. Vermeer will be there, Carlton will be there, Bandit will be there. If there's something you want me to walk around and look at and film for you, I don't care if it's a lift and it's not part of a stump grinding. If it's a ditch witch or if it's there and it's part of the tree care industry. If you want me to look at it and make a small video for you, I'll make one in the next few weeks. I'll be posting them up after the show. I went there over a year ago, and my phone, whatever happened to my phone, I lost all the film of what I'd gone over, all the machinery. So I'm here for you guys to help you out, because it's in St. Louis. I know some of you guys are in California, Washington State, New Jersey, New York, and this time it's in the middle of the United States. So, God bless you. See you next week.